Hi, in this home mission video we're going to be looking at 3 Renew Wellbeing spaces. They're in different communities, working in different ways, but they're spaces where it's okay not to be okay.
The first is in Dinas Powys, where a team from Dinas Powys Baptist Church are running a Renew Wellbeing group in their local library. Elizabeth Davis, who has since become a library volunteer, is one of our Renew Wellbeing hosts.
We did this questionnaire early 2021 and identified as a church we wanted to go out into the public space and serve the community. And so we were put in touch with Renew and met with Naomi, and we actually met, well, we linked with the charity itself as well, the bigger charity, and just felt that actually was kind of, where we were coming from and served a need that we could possibly use as well in our sort of church sense. We don't have our own building, so it's all quite different. But we just nevertheless felt that the whole concept of Renew Wellbeing was something that we thought we would identify with that. It was great, it was already set up, that we could use their resources. So we got in touch with Naomi, we've done our training. She's just been a real godsend really for her wisdom. But it was great just talking with other resources, other Renew centres as well, to see how they have established. I think people are more open to coming to this place anyway. It's something familiar to them, and so they feel maybe a bit safer already to sort of step in. They've found a welcome there. They've realised it's actually quite safe, and so we see them each week coming. I think it's maybe less threatening as well. So we do have our quiet time, we do have our reflection time, but it's very much their choice whether they participate. And they're very open to us talking about Christian things, and they're open to prayer as well. If we've had one person who has asked us to actually pray for them on a particular issue, so we're still reaching out into our community, so hopefully they see the love of Jesus spread in that way, whereas they might not want to have come through the church doors.
The second story is from Ainon Baptist Church in Tongwynlais, who are combining their Renew Wellbeing Cafe with a monthly nature walk, led by Andy, a local ranger.
We've been out today. We've been on a walk around Tongwynlais. We try and change it each week, but we've just experiencing and being in nature, understanding what's there, looking at every little bit, from firing up our senses, smells of flowers, tasting honeysuckle, all sorts of things, just to get our senses really connecting with nature and seeing what's around us and experiencing time together. So we're getting people with mental health problems. I've had them in the past, so it's nice that I'm able to relate to that as well. Some just for the joy of it, some just for company as well, people who are isolated as well. One of the biggest things I'm finding is people who are grieving. It's been one of the big things I've been finding, is that after somebody dies, have the funeral, and then life begins, and you don't realise how long sort of grief goes on for in people's hearts. And there's people 3 years, 4 years, 5 years on, you not getting rid of this. The nice thing about Renew is it's a very welcoming, warm-hearted, free coffee and cake. It's a place where you can do stuff, and that includes the nature side of it, going for that walk once a month, or whether we're building stuff here or planting stuff. People think church is about being good, about sitting in your pew, singing, and Christianity's about that, which is not. It's about love. I mean, if we go back, it's very easy to criticise and stuff like that, but we're not about rules. We've all sort of messed up, and we know that. And I think the whole point of Renew and the church is we are love. It's about being love. It's accepting that nobody's perfect. I think that's the greatest thing, and one of the fantastic things is knowing that we're not perfect, and that is why Jesus died on the cross for me. And he did it because he loved me. And it's a family of love, of broken people, and I think that's what the understanding we want to get over. I think the problem is that many people see the church as a barrier, as a sort of place you have to cross into and be perfect, and the church wouldn't exist if we were perfect.
The third story takes us down to West Wales, where Broadhaven Baptist Church are pioneering a Renew Sunday. One Sunday a month, they are complementing their Monday afternoon session with a service that combines elements of Renew with fellowship, teaching and prayer. The idea came from their minister, Helen Dare.
We realised that the Haven Sundays would give us an opportunity for people to get to know each other better. Because often you come to church, you come into the service and then you might have a cup of tea, you might say hello, how are you, I'm fine, and then you go home again. And Haven Sundays really give us an opportunity for all ages to get to know each other and for us to go deeper with each other. There's opportunities to engage with the Bible in different ways, using art and questions. There is a prayer space with a more involved opportunity for people to draw and write. And so people can talk about their faith, and we hope that as a range of people do that, that we can learn from each other, that we can learn that it's okay sometimes to say that we find faith can be challenging, and that the world we live in raises questions for us. And so we hope that this gives us space where people can be themselves in their faith as well as in their emotions and the rest of their lives. I think Haven Sundays have drawn in folk perhaps who had become a little bit on the edge of churches, particularly some of our teenagers really love this more interactive way of doing church. It definitely appeals to our small people, one of whom calls this Chocolate Cake Sunday. But I think it's just helped to break down those barriers of different groups, so there's a little bit more mixing and mingling. We meet like this once a month, and it means that if we meet people on a Monday in the Haven, it's very easy to invite them to a service like this because it's much more familiar to them. It's very similar to what they experience on a Monday, but also others in the community. It gives a way that you can say, just pop in. And they don't have to stay for the whole session if they don't want to, but they can meet people from across the range of our church fellowship, and not just the minister, who they might meet in the community or in school, but they come and meet different people and see that there are people like them, but without it being quite as difficult to come into the building as it might on an ordinary Sunday.
So there we have it. Amazing stories of hope, of healing, spaces where people can come, where it really is okay not to be okay. Naomi's our amazing Renew Wellbeing Co-ordinator, working across the association, across the life of our churches in South Wales, supported and funded by Home Mission. And so every time you give to Home Mission, you support Naomi and other projects that we are supporting through the life of the association. And so we thank you for your partnership in the gospel and for all that we are doing together in the name of Jesus.
Thank you.